Hey everybody, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Jay. I'm 60 years old. I've been on the carnivore diet for the past 4 months. I've lost 63 pounds in that time, and my blood work has gone from being a mess to being absolutely normal. I'm recording this in December and New Year's resolutions are coming up, so you may be on YouTube doing some research about diets. I thought I'd put my story out there. The before, the after, the pros, the cons, and basically what I've gone through to lose 63 pounds. That way you'll have some information to go on to help make a decision on whether this is the right diet for you. Everyone thought I was nuts when I started this diet. I've eaten only meat and dairy for the past 4 months. My family thought I'd die from a heart attack, and my friends actually kind of resented what they thought of as my newfound discipline around food. Not eating out, not eating desserts. But yesterday, I weighed myself and came in at 242 pounds, down from 305 pounds when I started this. 63 pounds in 4 months. I'm 60 years old and I feel better than I did when I was 30. And my friends all think I'm so disciplined, but to be honest, it's been easy. Before I go further, I want to tell you that I'm not a doctor or a healthcare professional. Everything I talk about in this video is my own experience. We all have different bodies. We're all at different ages and stages of our lives. So check with a doctor before you start this diet and make sure you keep in touch with your doctor as you're doing it. I'm getting my blood checked every 3 months to check that my cholesterol and other measurements are within range, and it just gives me a sense of well-being to do so. There seems to be a lot of controversy around the carnivore diet, but by doing this, I know that I'm taking care of myself, and I can actually see that I'm becoming much more healthy as I continue along this diet. So let me talk a little bit about what life was like for me before I started this diet. I weighed 305 pounds when I decided to start. I was out of shape. Just climbing a couple flights of stairs would leave me winded. If I walked for 10 minutes, I had to sit down. Workouts at the gym were a struggle. I had lost the ability to do some of my yoga positions. My joints ached. I felt sluggish and tired all the time. I would eat something sweet and then crash an hour later and have to eat something sweet again. I was a total carbohydrate addict. My mental clarity was zilch. Felt like I had cotton in my head. And my blood work was terrible. I was pre-diabetic, almost diabetic. My cholesterol was out of control. My triglycerides were actually above 600 a year ago. And I tried everything. I tried the Mediterranean diet, I tried the South Beach diet, I tried the keto diet. I'd lose some weight, but nothing really lasted. Also, for whatever reason, on all of those diets, I'd get terrible cravings. It felt like I was starving myself for 3 months, and I'd lose 20 pounds. And after 3 months, I just couldn't deal with it anymore. Inevitably, I'd have something sweet and get right back to my old patterns and gain all the weight back again, plus some. I think the worst part of it was outgrowing old clothes and having to buy new, bigger clothes, and coming to the point where I had a 44-inch waist, couldn't buy clothes at a regular store anymore. If I wanted to buy a pair of pants that fit, I usually had to order them online. I was past the size range of Banana Republic, TJ Maxx, Costco, all the places that I used to shop for clothes. So I've been thinking a lot over the summer about what kind of diet to try again. Fasting or keto again, or I just didn't know. I've tried everything, but I came across a video by a psychiatrist in Canada named Jordan Peterson, who had been on the carnivore diet for years, lost a ton of weight, and felt so much better. He had a lot more mental clarity, and it cleared up some autoimmune issues that he had. I don't have autoimmune issues, but I decided, this can't hurt. I can give it a try. And so I did. I came up with a carnivore diet plan, went shopping at Costco, bought all the meat that I needed for 2 weeks, did the diet. For about 2 weeks, it was difficult. I suffered from something called keto flu, which is you stop eating carbohydrates and your body is craving them. It basically feels like the flu. You feel a little bit lightheaded, a headache, tired, achy. That lasted about 2 weeks. Joe Rogan, who also tried this diet, talked about epic diarrhea, so bad that he was afraid to leave his house. I never had anything quite like that, but I did make sure I knew where the public bathrooms were when I was out. But after about 2-3 weeks, everything cleared up and I felt great. All of a sudden I was clear-headed like I haven't been in years. A lot of my joint aches had stopped. I had stopped snoring too. I've since stopped using my CPAP machine. That's another benefit to this diet for me. My meal plan for those first 2 weeks were to eat as much steak, as much meat as I wanted, supplemented by eggs, cheese, a bit of dairy here and there, with additional egg yolks and liver for extra nutrition. I would say, aside from keto flu, the hardest part of the diet for me in that first month actually was the adjustment to my social life. I was keeping my eating within a 6-hour window each day so that I would get an 18-hour fast, which meant that I would eat at 9 a.m. and 3 p.m. Not many people are up for breakfast, and my afternoon meal was too late for lunch and too early for dinner. So I basically dropped all social contact for that first month. Most of my social life revolves around eating out, doing something in the evening, and it just wasn't going to happen. I didn't want that temptation. I didn't want anything that would pull me off the diet, and it worked. The last challenge which has been over the last 4 months, has actually been a good one. I've had to buy all new clothes. I've gone from a 44-inch waist, which was tight, to a 38-inch waist, which now is loose. I'm almost down to a 36. And I'm still losing. I want to go for another 3 months and lose another 40 pounds, which means that anything I buy today isn't going to fit when I'm done with this. So my wardrobe is pretty limited right now, and I don't want to spend a lot of money on new clothes because they're just going to be donated in another couple months. Now that I've seen the effects of 4 months of the carnivore diet, though, it was worth every minute of it. Dropping from 305 pounds to 243 pounds changes everything. I can walk for miles now, up hills. I don't get winded. I can walk up 3 or 4 flights of stairs and feel fine. Not having all that extra bulk to carry around is like a liberation, to be honest. It's a wonderful feeling. My cholesterol is back down to normal. My blood pressure is actually on the low side, which is really good for someone who's 60. The measurement I had at the doctor when I had my physical last month was 117/75. And my doctor is no longer concerned about diabetes. He thinks that if I do this for another 3 months, I'm going to be fine. So that's a relief not to be thinking about pre-diabetes or diabetes and all the things that come with that. And I'm not getting sugar crashes during the day. My energy level is steady. I have this mental clarity that I haven't felt in years. Eating sugar really has a bad effect on us. It's probably the most dangerous legal drug. You look around at the rate of obesity in this country, the number of people suffering from diabetes. It's a hidden drug. We don't realize how much is in the food that we eat and just how bad an effect it's having on us until we stop. Another part of it is I used to have such cravings for food all day. I'd eat in the morning and by 11 I'd be hungry. I'd eat at noon, by 3 I'd be hungry and have to eat a snack. By 7 I'd be hungry again. I was snacking all day long, eating way more than I eat now. Now I eat bacon and eggs or something similar for breakfast, a pretty hearty breakfast. And then around 3 o'clock I eat a piece of steak or some ground meat with egg yolk or some pot roast. Basically about 1.25 pounds of meat. And I'm done for the day. That's plenty of food. I feel great afterward. I eat to the point of being satiated, but not to the point of being stuffed. And I'm not hungry again, even when I wake up in the morning around 9 o'clock. I'm ready to eat. I eat gladly, but I'm not starving for food. It's such a complete difference from how it used to be with the cravings. Cravings are all gone. And so many of my hang-ups about food, the way I would use it for comfort, for socializing, everything else, gone. It's like quitting a drug, and now I've gotten over the withdrawal symptoms. Another real benefit to this diet is how easy it is. I heard someone on YouTube, I can't remember who, talk about food freedom and how she felt like once she started this diet, she had found food freedom. She had other issues with food, which I haven't had, but what she said for herself, and what I've noticed for myself as well, is how easy shopping and prep has become. It used to be I had a refrigerator full of food, dozens of things to buy at the store, and I'd spend hours deciding what I wanted to cook for the week. Now it's just simply buying meat, splitting it up into serving size pieces, putting it in the freezer, taking a piece out of the freezer the night before I'm going to eat it, and then spending 15 minutes cooking it when I get home. Something that used to take hours of my week now probably takes about 3 hours a week. Everything is so much easier with this diet. So I wanted to address a few common misperceptions about this diet, some of the objections that I hear from other people. Number one, the biggest objection I hear, and I heard it from my doctor, was that it was going to ruin my blood work. My blood work was actually the best it's been in years after 3 months of the diet. All my measurements were within a normal range, except my LDL cholesterol, which was a bit high, but certainly nothing to worry about. Now, everyone's different. You may have a different result, which is why it's really important to work with your doctor and get your blood checked as often as he or she recommends. The other misconception I hear is people telling me that I might have nutrient deficiencies because of this diet. Because I'm only eating meat, I'm not getting any vegetables. In particular, vitamin C, which we get from fruit mostly. But the truth is, your body actually can process enough vitamin C out of the nutrients it receives from meat. I had my vitamin C levels checked when I had my last blood work done, and it came in just fine. One final misconception a lot of people have is, how about fiber? I thought about taking some kind of supplement, but I haven't been taking any supplement, and my digestion, other than the first couple weeks, has been absolutely fine. And listen to your body if you try this diet. If you have any issues, check with your doctor. That would be the best way to proceed. I've had wonderful results with this diet. I recommend it wholeheartedly, with the caveat, of course, that you check with your doctor and that you get your blood work taken as you're doing it. If you've already been on the carnivore diet, how about sharing your comments, your health journey? It's great to read other people's experiences with this, good or bad. It helps all of us. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. And if you'd like more carnivore diet information, hit the subscribe button.